So I've broken down over 337 funnels from some of the biggest coaches and course creators out there. And I've worked behind the scenes with multiple 5- and 6-figure entrepreneurs to help them scale their coaching businesses to well over 6 figures per month. So today I'm going to be giving you the exact laziest funnel that still generates over $100,000 per month today. And this works even if you have zero tech skills and you're just getting started. Let's get into it. So first of all, we're going to start off with the offer and promise, how you're structuring your free training in one clean line, how exactly you structure the big promise, and why the hell it's actually free in the first place without actually sounding desperate. Then we move into the opt-in page basics. Now here, we're going to go over the exact headline template that actually works, the pain avoid lines that actually get people to fill out the form, and the button copy that converts instead of the garbage submit button that literally everybody uses. After that, the click to watch gate, that why you never actually embed the full video on the opt-in page, how to actually create intent with a simple click, and how this one singular tweak literally doubled my client show rates in literally a few days. Then we're getting into the watch page structure, how to build a wall of social proof under your video that actually feels inevitable, which types of testimonials to mix, and how to actually label each one so that prospects actually see themselves in your results. Now, after that, we're going to go over the applications on a page, how to keep it 4 to 6 questions maximum, how to make sure that your completion rates are absolutely maximized, which multiple choice options actually lift completion rates, and when to add friction so you're not drowning in unqualified leads. After that, the thank you page and the video FAQ, the countdown timer that actually works, and of course, the confirmation video that stops buyer's remorse before it even starts, and the FAQ library that handles every objection before they even get on a call with you. And we're going to go over the entire confirmation call script, the handoff process, and the reminder sequence that gets 80 to 90% show rates with warm traffic. Let's get straight into it. We're going to go and start off right here. Let me just first quickly explain exactly what this funnel looks like from a top-down overview, just so we can get a high-level overview of it, and then we can get into the rest of the breakdown. Now, this funnel starts off right at the start with a opt-in page. So this opt-in page, it goes from your content. This could be your YouTube content, this could be your Instagram content, whatever it might be. But this opt-in page is going to have a top little bit of text, then it's going to have a big headline, right? And then after that, it's going to have a little itty bit of pain avoidance, and then it's going to have a little bit of text that tells you to watch the actual VSL. And underneath that, it's going to be it's going to be the little bit of a image, right? This is going to be the opt-in page, and it's going to have a play button on it. So there's going to be an image of the VSL, and not the actual video, but an image with the play button on it. And then underneath that, there should be a button to claim it, along with maybe a little bit of social proof down here if you would like. Now, this is the basic framework that you're going to follow for this. And whenever they click on this, when they click their little cursor on this, then you're going to go ahead and redirect them over a form, right? A quick form. And this will say, fill out the form below to get your free training or get your mini course or whatever you want to call this. Don't call it a VSL, call it a mini course, mini training or whatever. And then you have 3 form fields, which is going to be, name, there's going to be email, and there's going to be phone number. And then underneath that, forgive my horrendous drawing, but underneath that, there's going to be the submit button. And never say submit here. Again, we'll get into this later on in the video, but never ever say submit here. Tell them, hey, claim the free training or whatever it might be. Tell them about the outcome. So if you're giving them a free training, tell them claim the mini course on the button. Put that as the text, or claim the free training, whatever it might be. Just don't make it submit. Next, after that, you're going to redirect them after they've filled out this form. Now you've gotten their first touch. You've gotten a commitment from them. You redirect them to a new page. Over here, you have the whole headline and the same exact stuff that you had before, up here. Then you have the main VSL, which is the actual video now, and they get to watch this. And then you get a button down below here. Then the rest of this page, I'm going to be breaking down on the rest of this video, but there's way more on this page as well. After that, you have another page, which is basically just a confirmation page with title, video, FAQs, social proof. That is the basic overview of what this funnel looks like, and I'll go over everything you have to do after that as well, but that is the high-level overview of what one of these funnels actually looks like. All right, so now that you've gotten the quick high-level overview of this funnel, let's get into the main nitty-gritty of exactly how you're going to make this work for your business and print $100,000 a month with it. Let's get into it. We're going to go and start off with the offer and promise. Now, with the offer and promise, the basic way you have to start with is by starting by naming the free training in one clear line, what it is, who it's for, what it helps them do. So at the top, that's the headline. As you guys know, you've seen it probably multiple times, on bread scales, TGR trades, everybody has that big headline at the top. You just want to start by naming the free training in one clear line, what it is, who it's for, and what it helps them do. Number 2, you want to set one big promise that you can back up. So do not stack 5 promises. One is completely enough. I'll see a lot of people going over, you'll get this, 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 and this. Just tell them one big thing that they're going to achieve by getting to your program, and that's enough. You sound too desperate when you give too many reasons. And next, give a quick reason why it is free. Example, I want more people to see how this works, so trust me when we actually talk. That is it, right? You don't want to go ahead and over-explain because, again, you sound desperate. You sound like you're lying in that same exact vein as I was talking about before. You just want to give a quick reason that explains everything and kind of lets the people put their guard down and, feel like they can trust you, kind of, right? And next are the opt-in page basics. Now, for the opt-in page, you want to have a strip of text at the very top, small font, for example, a brand new free training reveals. That's the kind of text you want to have there. Number 2, there should be like some kind of big headline underneath it. Use a template that goes like the big number or value or exact framework. So if you have a big number that is your framework's value, you can put it in there. So it's like, for example, the $100,000 framework that took me from bad situation to a dream situation. Or maybe it could be the exact framework that took me from a bad situation to dream situation. And I'd like you to name the specific framework. So for example, if you have the YouTube flywheel framework, or maybe you have the, 3 candle framework, whatever it might be. And then of course, by 22, within 6 months, without XYZ, whatever it might be. Then after that, there should be a pain avoidance line underneath the headline. So it looks something like this, like without thing they hate, thing they fear, or thing that wastes time. So it'll be the big headline up here that gives you the big promise. And then there'll be an itty bitty little bit of text right underneath that's going to be like, without the thing they hate, without the thing they fear, and then of course, without the thing that wastes their time on. So all of those things they're running away from, that discomfort, you tell them without all those things. So it feels, like you're already handling their objection so that they actually watch the VSL later. Now for the design, there should be a dark background. The VSL area can have like a soft gradient, so it feels a bit focused. No clutter, no fancy stuff that fights the copy. You'll see a lot of this with people who are trying to make their websites look cool. You're going to obviously make your website look a bit cooler, but at the same time, you're going to be fighting the copy with your design. So people are going to focus on your design more than the actual text that you put on the page, which is not what you want. Next is the click to watch gate. So here you want to place an image that looks like a video thumbnail on the opt-in page. Put a play icon on it, right? Then when they click the image or the main button, make a form pop up. I went over this at the start of the video as well. Do not actually embed the video on the opt-in page. The click will just create intent and give you a clean watch page to actually work with. So here, when you go over here, as I said, you click this button and then it'll go to this form and then it'll go to the main watch page right here. And next, speaking of the watch page, here's the basic anatomy of every single successful watch page. First, keep the same headline and subheading from the opt-in page so it feels very consistent. We've tested this, and changing up the headline and subheading can have a good effect, but we personally like keeping it the same just because it will make it way easier and less confusing for the buyer, right? For the prospect. So next, number 2, you want to have the video sitting high on the page. A large player, easy to hit play. I personally like using, Vidalytics. If you guys know about that new software, it's way better than Wistia or Vimeo in my opinion for this kind of course or this video hosting, VSL hosting, just in the general sense of how it is optimized for conversions specifically. It's just better, right? I'm not going to go into detail on that, but it's just better. Number 3, build a wall of social proof under the video. Mix the type so it feels a little bit more believable. It could be a screenshot of wins, it could be short video testimonials, it could be text testimonials, or it could be 1 or 2 mini case studies with before and after. All of these should be together. If you have a few of these, put them together, put as many as you physically can. If you have all of them, mash as many of them into the page as you physically can while making it look clean. And of course, at the end, I'll go over a full breakdown of, a funnel that is doing this extremely, extremely, extremely well as well. And of course, now for the actual screenshots of wins, short video testimonials, just make them look super clean. And whenever you go over a few screenshots, put a button underneath it. So don't go too long without putting a button in between your testimonials. So you give them 4 or 5 testimonials, put a button. 4 or 5 testimonials, put a button. 4 or 5 screenshots, put a button. 4 or 5 testimonials on text, put a button. 1 or 2 mini case studies, put a button. You know, you just need to put a button as many times as physically possible, because you're always asking for the sale. You're always making it as easy as possible for that person to go ahead and move forward in your funnel, which is exactly what you want. Number 4, label each of those proof tiles with the thing that gives status for that person. You know, subscribers, views, revenue, booked calls, whatever matches, right? This is not a huge breakthrough for 90% of you guys, but whenever you have a proof tile, always add in something on top that is actually going to exemplify that person. So make them look better. A thing that is going to make them look better. So if somebody's really big on, you know, YouTube, if they're really big on TikTok, if they're really big on Instagram, and you help them get there, put that specific metric on there. If you help them make more money, put that specific metric on there. If you help them have a improved life, put that specific metric on there. Although I don't know how you would quantify that. That's why I personally don't work with anybody except for people who are in the biz ops space. But, you know, you will have to figure out a way to quantify the biggest achievement that you get for people and put that on top of their proof tile. So for example, how Jason went from XYZ dollars a month to YZX dollars a month, right? So it just needs to be their initial situation and then their new situation, using a revenue or a unit that people in your ICP or people in your audience can understand very easily. Next, after that, keep the background dark in the proof section, very easy to scan, you know, 3 to 4 columns, and then plenty of spacing and no weird effects. Don't try to add in some cool looking effects. That's not the main thing that we're doing here. We're just trying to optimize for conversion rates. And at the same time, like, effects, they have their place, but conversion rate is the GOAT. It's the top. If you look at anybody on the higher levels, higher echelons, they don't have any crazy effect on their landing page. They just have like a clean layout with some clean colors, and that's all you need. That's it, right? You don't need some crazy, you know, insane effects unless you're really good at web design, in which case it's going to help your funnel. But 90% of you guys are very, very not that, right? Now, next is the application on the page. This is one of the most important parts. This is where most of your leads are going to fall off in your funnel. So first, the form will open right underneath the VSL. No new tab. Keep it 4 to 6 questions. Only ask what you actually truly need, right? Make sure to cut it as small as physically possible. Use a multiple choice wherever you can to lift the completion rates. If you start getting unqualified leads, then add one short descriptive question as a good friction. Question 1. So it will be familiarity with the XYZ model. This should be multiple choice. You know, options should be like never tried it, watched a few videos, tested it a bit, use it sometimes, use it a lot and want to scale. Other. Now, not other. Do not add other here. My bad. Not sure why that got there, but don't add other there. On this multiple choice, you can also do a 1 to 5 grading scale. So you can be like, you know, rank yourself 1 to 5 on your familiarity, 1 being completely a beginner, and then 5 being an expert. You know, you can also do that way. There's a lot of ways of doing this. You just need to understand how familiar they are with your model. Question 2, if we worked closely, what outcome would you want the most? Is a multiple choice. So for options, this would be first 10 paid clients, you know, consistent 20, 30K months, fix the offer and messaging, bookings on autopilot, build a small team that runs this. By the way, I'm going over just some example options. Do not copy and paste these for your own stuff. This is just to make you understand how to actually go about this. Now that's question 2. After that, question 3 could be like, if this could 100% get you to that goal, how much cash do you have set aside and are you willing to put in? Multiple choice options could be 100, like under 1K, 1 to 3K, 3 to 5K, 5 to 10K, 10K plus, something like that. Depending on how big your offer is, like how much it costs, you just want to adjust the scale. So if your offer is $100, don't ask about this. Just adjust this on how expensive your offer is, basically. Question 4 is contact info. You know, first name, last name, best email, best phone. Put this here so the completion rate is higher, just because, you know, they've already invested so much time in answering these questions. They're way more likely to fill out this contact info question. Optional question 5 is some good friction. Only add if the prospect quality is weak. Keep it 1 short line. So if you have very bad leads, if you keep on getting bad leads and they are not qualified, just add this final question as well. You know, it'll be a descriptive question in 1 line. What have you tried in the last 60 days, or what is the biggest blocker right now? If you really, really want to add more friction, you don't even need to add 1 line. You can be like, you know, detailed description of why we should pick you or something like that. That is a really good one as well for adding in more friction into your funnel as well. Now, next is the thank you page. And I know a lot of you guys, 90% of funnel builders will put this as an afterthought, but the thank you page is one of the most important pages, if not the most important page in your entire funnel. Hands down, not your opt-in, not your watch page. It's just this, because this is where people decide to truly show up for that call or not. And that is the only main metric that matters for conversions, right? Because the more show ups, the more your money you're going to actually make. Now, number one is for the baking this is going to be number one, big banner at the top with a countdown. So 2 to 5 minutes works. Number two, a line under it. So thanks for applying. Your form is approved. A team member will call you within the timer time to lock in your time. Keep your phone close. The reason we do this is just because in this kind of funnel, you always want to have somebody who manually books. Why? Because manual bookings are way, way, way more likely to show. Now, in another case, if you are somebody who is starting out a little bit new, I'd recommend just starting out with a automated Calendly, right? So after this, they get straight redirected to Calendly, and that's it. You don't get somebody to call them or anything like that, just because you're right now starting out. So I'd recommend you don't invest too much capital into getting a dialer. You don't have the skills to train the dialer and stuff like that. But if you have those skills, this will increase your rates of actually booking and showing up by an absolute metric ton. Even your close rates will go up. It's insane how much of an effect this has. Number three, your text, there should be some text saying, watch this 2-minute video in the meantime. Next, there should be a 2-minute video underneath that line. Obviously, this 2-minute video, I'm going to go over this right here. This is a whole nother framework that I'm going to go over right in this video. But stick around for that. It's going to be right after this thank you page. Let me just break the rest down. Next is going to be a video FAQ library under the warm-up video. It should be 10 to 15 quick videos, 30 to 40 seconds each. Each one should answer one objection or one question. And I know you guys just heard that. Oh my God, so many videos to film. Please, for God's sake, get your butt off of your couch and film this for 5 minutes. It is actually going to pay off so much. You just need to you can follow exactly the ones I'm about to tell you right now, and you just need to film these videos. I'm literally taking all the work away from you. Please, for God's sake, just do it. Because actually this video FAQ library, although you may think it's useless, this is going to up your show rates. This is going to up your close rates. This is going to up every single metric in your funnel if you just add these things in. So you need to follow everything I'm telling you here. So you need to put in the work and actually do this. Now, number one, will this work if I only use organic? That's a big problem for a lot of people. What if my niche is small? How long to first result? What does support look like? How do refunds or guarantees work? What if I cannot afford paid traffic right now? What happens if I miss a call? Now, these are just generalized questions. Just specify them for your niche. Obviously, if you're just selling to content creators, don't ask this question, right? Nobody's asking this question if you're just selling to content creators, right? And again, if you're saying paid traffic right now, no, this is not relevant to the content creation thing. So it doesn't really matter for your specific offers. So you also need to check by yourself, hey, is this a sensible question that a lot of people have? And you can find this out in your sales calls, in your, setter DMs. Just get in the weeds of your business, check out what your setters and closers are doing. If you don't have that data, you can just go ahead and find somebody who does. For example, us, we do have all of that data and everything like that, and we implement it into your own funnel so we can give you the best practices. Of course, I'll leave a link in the description for any one of you guys who are interested in implementing some kind of funnel like this into your own coaching business, or you don't have a coaching business and want to start one using this kind of funnel, and you have an existing organic audience. Fair warning, we do only work with people who have an existing organic audience. You can click the link down below though. You can DM me on Instagram. We're going to go ahead and talk, and we can book in a call with me or one of my team members from there to go ahead and talk further about your business. Now, anyways, back into the actual breakdown. This is actually where you handle buyer's regret. A regretful prospect does not show up. So that's why this is so important, because buyer's regret is the biggest window where most people are going to leave your funnel. It's huge, and 90% of people are going to feel like, oh my God, buyer's regret doesn't really matter. This, yada, yada, yada. You'll come up with many excuses, but buyer's regret is one of the biggest loss of leads that you can possibly have. So it's imperative that you actually figure it out and make sure to address it in your funnel. Now, next is the confirmation video. Confirmation video is basically going to be this video just validates them and handles the 48-hour buyer's regret window. Use these basic outlines to figure this video out and make it well. Open with a big step. So open by saying big step. Most people never get this far. You just did. Again, this is verbatim, which basically means that I'm just telling you some generalized statements. You just need to, actually expand on these. write them in your own words, write them in the same way that you would write them. These are just some basic frameworks for you to follow. You just need to go over these points. Tell them it's a big step. Most people never get this far, and they just did. You might be thinking, is this a hard sell? Is this a scam? What if someone takes my money on the call? None of that, right? You just want to tell them all your objections. These are your main objections. Is this a scam? Is this XYZ? Blah, blah, blah. This is none of that. And here's why. Next, you're going to explain what happens. So a coach will call you within, by the way, this coach right here is in quotation marks because it's not actually a coach. It's just a dialer, but you want to call them a coach. I'm not completely sure with the weeds of that, but it just works better. So a coach will call you within timer, whatever timer you told them on the main page. Quick chat, 1 to 3 minutes, few easy questions, goal, where are you now, timeline, rough budget, no payments on this call. Just tell them all of that. We'll give you free resources and we'll see if you're a fit if you're for the deeper session. Accountability, if no one calls within the timer, DM me, call on IG and I'll handle it. So this is basically just for you to know if somebody's slacking and then you can fire them. And then why pick up? You'll get free resources right away, clarity on next steps, and we'll lock in a time for a deeper call. It's just giving them a reason to actually care about this. And then the final close, which is just keep your phone close, talk soon. That's all you need to do for this. Super basic stuff for the confirmation video, not rocket science. Next is the confirmation call. This is going to be the same call from that coach that we were talking about earlier, which is just a dialer. You can show them this basic framework and they just need to follow this, write out a script for them and just train them on that script off of everything I'm about to explain here. Obviously, again, I'm telling you again, guys, don't take what I am telling you face value. Don't just take it and throw it into your own business because 100 or 200 or 300 other people are going to do the exact same thing, which is going to result in it being saturated. I don't like using the word saturated in general, but other people are going to do it and it's going to make it less effective. So just change it up a little bit, put it into ChatGPT or something like that. Just change it up a little bit. Number 1, goal should be a short touch, 1 to 3 minutes, set the tone and get the time on calendar. The script outline should look something like this. Hey, name, it's name from brand. You just applied. Still free to chat for a minute. Confirm the name, niche, goal in 1 question. 1 or 2 like qualifiers like revenue range, rough budget, start timeline. Set the time. I can get you in at time or time, which one works. Always give them 2 specific times. It works in general better just because, you give them 2 separate times that you're free. They're like, this one works or this one works. If neither one of them works, they'll just give you a brand new time. So giving them 2 options is just going to make it work better for them. It's going to up the show rates because sometimes people just out of social anxiety, for some reason, they'll just choose the first time you throw at them, even though it's not really a good time. So you giving them 2 options is just going to make them choose the time that's overall better for them, if that makes sense. Next is the basics. So tell them laptop ready. Anyone else who decides, tell them to hop on and then lock it in on Calendly while on the phone. So get the setter or the dialer to actually lock it in right there on the phone. Then there should be a friendly close. So, we're excited to meet you. Talk soon. That's all you need to do. Not rocket science. Again, it's very basic stuff. It's really, really simple. Just need to train just go to ChatGPT. You can literally, here you go. I'll let you guys screenshot this. Just screenshot this, put it into ChatGPT, tell it to make a script like this. I'd recommend using Claude for this, obviously, which is another AI because ChatGPT is not as good at writing. So again, just put this into Claude, put in the screenshot. It'll transcribe it and write a script for you as well. Next is the handoff and group chat. Again, this is another way we up the show rates to that 80 to 90% mark. So again, pay attention, take notes here. It's very important for you guys to do this. Number 1, right after you take the first touch call, start in a group chat with a setter, the closer, and the prospect. Add yourself if you actually want to monitor the tone and how they're going, which I highly recommend. I always say, stay in the weeds of your business. If you know every single thing that is going on with your setter team, your dialer team, whatever it might be, the closer team, you know how they're talking to your prospects at all times. And so you will get as much data as physically possible. Number 2, the coach, which is the dialer or setter, introduces the closer with like 1 or 2 friendly lines. You then drop obviously the closer will then go ahead and talk with the prospect and everything like that. And then they will later drop the pre-call VSL in that thread. This is basically a short video from you that tees up the call, which basically means it hypes up the call. What we'll cover, what a yes looks like, what a no looks like. Just go into detail on everything, just get them. This is a video just designed to get them to show up. If you guys want me to, I'll make a detailed video on exactly how to make one of these. If you are interested in that, just drop the comment saying pre-call VSL down below. Just pre-call VSL, pre-call VSL. Write that down below in the comments and I'll make a video about this if it gets enough, comments or upvotes. Number 4, send pre-call assets that have value. So 1 to 2 quick videos that answer the top doubts, and along with like optional PDFs or extras. These will just warm up the prospect way further before the call. Again, upping the show rates and of course upping the close rates. And they're also going to be more indebted to the closer, which is again going to up the close rates. Number 5, put in some gentle reminders on the chat day before, morning of, 1 hour before. Don't try to sound desperate or anything like that. Just do these basic frameworks. Next are the auto reminders, possibly some of the most important reminders as well. These auto reminders are going to go something like this. First of all, you want to have an automated email and SMS reminders at 48 hours, 24 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, and 15 minutes. This sounds like a lot, but this is exactly what it takes to get to the point where you're getting 80-90% show rates. Each should have the time and the link. And this is where 90% of people stop. Like some of you guys might have smiled, did a little bit of a nice grin looking at your computer, and you've been like, oh my God, I did this. I'm absolutely dialed in on this part. No, you're not. This is baby steps. This is baby steps right here. This is what you have just done. If you have done this is baby steps. This is the first little baby steps that you need to take. The rest is where you become a man and you actually start doing the rest, or a woman if you're a female. Now, number 2 is pair the time reminders with value emails that matter. A short subject, straight links to objection videos, and proof in action. Now, what does that mean? Objection videos, FAQs, objection handling videos, for example, why you should pick us or whatever it might be. Just explaining why you're so valuable, why you matter. Give them value. Explain, hey, this is why we do what we do. This is how our frameworks work. This is how you can implement a few of our frameworks, almost like a YouTube video. You're just giving them as much value as physically possible. Then along with that, you want to give them case studies, testimonials, video testimonials, every single piece of proof that you have that is extremely powerful. You send that to them on the emails. All of this should be like at the same cadence or even faster cadence than the actual other SMS reminders or email reminders. Examples, so the subject could be, watch this before our call. Body could be 2 to 4 videos or short videos that answer the exact doubts people bring up on the calls, plus a couple of screenshots that match the claim and valuable transition text. Again, at this point, if you guys can do this, this will implement into your own coaching business, and this will make you thousands of dollars a month if you're making a few thousand right now, and if not like $100,000 a month if you actually implement everything I'm giving you in this video. You just need to get up and do the work, which is just basic stuff. You just need to get this stuff done, and you need to learn more about this stuff. And if you can copy paste this, you'll be able to scale to 50K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month pretty easily. Number 3, build these value emails from what your closers hear. Record and ship them. Just take that information from your closers, take that information from your setters. If you don't have that information, get it. Get it from sales calls, get it from setters, get that information somehow, figure it out, get more clients, try to get more prospects into your funnel, get a few testing prospects, try to see which objections that they have, get on calls with them yourself even if you really want to. That would be my biggest recommendation. Number 4, when you actually do this, show rates will go up. 70% is the lowest floor that you can reach. If you are really just brain dead as all hell and you did everything that I just told you in this video and copy pasted it, you will get 70% show rates as the lowest floor. And if you actually did everything right. Now 80 to 90% is actually common with warm traffic and content. If you actually do everything right, 80 to 90%. I've seen 95% across a few months in one of my offers. It's insanity. Like you can get huge show rates with something like this. And of course, a few of our extra frameworks I am obviously not going to go over in this whole YouTube video, but this is the basic skeleton of what we do to actually get these crazy show up rates. If you want to get to the next level, obviously there's going to be way more frameworks that you're going to have to implement. But if you are interested in something like that, you want to scale further, or you want to start your own coaching business, or you want to start your own info business, and you have an existing following, again, I'll leave a link down below for any of you coaches and consultants. If you're in the BizOps space, you have an existing following. Again, we only work with people who have existing followings. Then go ahead and DM me on Instagram down below, or check out the link down below for the landing page. And of course, we can talk from there. It's not going to be some kind of setter. It's going to be me or one of my team members. And then from there, we'll hop on, get you on a call with one of me or my team members. Either way, you're going to be in safe hands. You're going to be good hands. We're going to go over everything in your business. Even if you are not able to, move forward on that call, you're just going to get, we're going to point you in the right direction, tell you exactly what to do with your business, point out the bottlenecks so you actually know where to go next. So it's a no-brainer for you either way. Hoping to see you, down there on that call. Just check it out, the link down below. Otherwise, if you are not interested in that and you just want to watch another one of my videos, you can go ahead and check this one out right here because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. If you want to watch the whole funnel breakdowns playlist with basically just 40 to 50 videos where I break down other people's funnels, it has a ton of value in there, and I would recommend you check that out. It's down below this. And of course, if you want to leave a like and subscribe, which I would appreciate, subscribe is down below in that corner, and the like button is below the video. Hoping to see you in this next video. Goodbye.